Hi, this is Rachel Farrell, and today we are discussing phonetics and phonology. We will specifically be discussing what they are and how they help us to describe and understand speech sounds. But phonetics is the general study of speech sounds. It is concerned with the natural way that speech sounds are produced in the mouth and in the throat. It focuses on small segments of speech, and it uses the International Phonetic Alphabet to describe the way that sounds are formed in the mouth and in the vocal tract. In particular, in our examples to the right, I want to point out the two bottom examples, which are pronounced the same way, I, and the way that the pronunciation or the phonetic spelling on the right-hand side varies from the English spelling on the left-hand side. And while those are two different words that have different meanings, they are pronounced the same way, and so their phonetic spelling is the exact same. Our next term will be phonology. Phonology is the study of the systems of speech sounds, or the patterns of speech sounds that are found within a language. It is concerned with deriving meaning from speech sounds, and specifically with the combinations of speech sounds that we are able to derive meaning from, or the fact that the combination of speech sounds helps us to understand the word that we are saying or the word that we are reading. And it's also the concept through which we understand that by changing one speech sound or one letter, we are able to create an entirely different word or with an entirely different meaning. So in our examples, by changing the first speech sound found in the words clap, nap, and rap, we have three separate words with three separate definitions. The same is true of the second example. By changing the last speech sound in the word bin, bib, and bit, we have formed three entirely different words with three entirely different definitions. And the same is true of that middle speech sound in for, far, and fur. Next we have phonemes, which are the distinct speech sounds in a language that help us to distinguish the meaning from words. By nature, phonemes function contrastively. So by looking at our example, we can see the words ram, bam, and dam. And we know that those three words have varying definitions. And so we are able, by knowing those three separate definitions, to identify the phonemes within them. So we have represented those phonemes at the bottom of our example in between slash marks. And it's that or that R sound, the B sound, and then the D at the beginning of dam. Our next term is allophones. And allophones are specifically a set of phones or speech sounds of a single phoneme. Really, they are different ways of pronouncing the same speech sound. We'll go ahead and look at our example by looking at the phoneme T. We have three separate words with three separate allophones. So we have time with that aspiration, that puff of air right at the beginning of the word. We have the word health, and there at the end we have the combination of the T and the H, which forms that phonetic theta. And we have a glottal stop in the middle of the word mutter with those two T's. And so we do want to note that a big difference between phonemes and allophones is that by changing one allophone to another within the same phoneme, which by definition they are, You do not change the meaning of the word, just the pronunciation. And it may sound a little bit silly, but it does not change your meaning. But if we were to change the phoneme, then we would change the definition of the words. So that is a large difference that we wanted to go ahead and highlight. In conclusion, we just want to go back over our main terms from this presentation. Phonetics is the study that concerns itself mostly with the articulation of speech. Phonology mostly concerns itself with understanding speech sounds and the pattern of speech sounds and then deriving meaning from those sounds and combinations of sounds. Phonemes are the speech sounds that help us to distinguish those word meanings, the varying speech sounds, and then allophones are varying pronunciations of a single speech sound or phoneme. And so that is our presentation for today, and hope you enjoyed it.